Okay, so firstly, let's look at the anti-monopoly guidelines for platform economies. That was issued firstly, actually quite a long time ago in 2008, but in 2020, there's a new guideline on anti-monopoly for platform economies, and then now there's a revised version of anti-monopoly law, which will take effect on 1st of August this year. So that law strengthens legal regulation of the platform economy, particularly in combating monopoly and unfair market competitions. It has levied fines against China's big tech giants, including Alibaba, Baidu, Tencent, and ByteDance for violating antitrust laws. It also restricts overseas listings by Chinese companies. Such as, end of 2020, China personally intervened to stop Ante financial IPO in the US market. In July 2021, the Chinese regulator also levied anti-monopoly fines against the Didi, China's Uber, New York stock market listing over data security. So in order to list private corporations in overseas markets, particularly the US market, the state regulators has to approve. And that's why TikTok was not allowed to sell to any US company in 2020. And then in 2021, there are two more famous laws that were issued. One is the data security law, the other is the personal information protection law. And both were built upon the 2017 cybersecurity law. The 2017 cybersecurity law mainly focused on data localization, which is common practice around the world. Basically says, a business operating in China would have to store Chinese citizens' data in China, not in the US or elsewhere. But this new data security law and personal information protection law expand upon those previous ones to expand the data localization and data transfer laws to impose harsher penalties for violations. Companies must ensure that all data gathered within China is stored within the country, and all data handlers are prohibited from providing any data stored in China to foreign government agencies without approval from the Chinese government authorities, regardless of data security level and where the data was originally collected. So that data security law has been viewed as a countermeasure to the US 2018 Cloud Act. The cloud means clarifying law for overseas use of data, which gives US law enforcement agencies legal right to demand access to electronic data no matter which country the data is stored in. Basically, China was saying, well, US, you can do that, I can do that too. Okay, so the personal information protection law was modeled upon the EU's GDPR. It was China's first comprehensive data protection law covering personal data collection and transfer by public and private companies. The Chinese government also issued another regulations called the Qinglang 2022 Algorithm Comprehensive Governance. It outlaws algorithmic discrimination as part of what may be the world's most ambitious effort to regulate artificial intelligence. So, all right, just very briefly, the new regulation addresses a range of issues involve algorithms, from addiction or excessive consumption and the synthetic false news information to the protection of the elderly and the gig workers. And under the rules, the companies will be prohibited from using personal information to offer different prices for the same product or service. They will be required to notify the users when algorithms are used to make recommendations, and the users have the option to opt out. The enforcement is mainly on the company's self-evaluation and the self-correction. So the corporate public responsibility has been emphasized here. But there are also other measures in terms of fines, barring, stopping the companies from enrolling new users, having their license, business license pulled out, and having the website or apps shut down, etc. So those are part of the effort. But at its core, the regulation requires providers to uphold mainstream value and mainstream value orientations, and vigorously disseminate positive energy. So those are what I see, or what I said about those socialist, communist, ideological terms. You might wonder, what does it mean, mainstream value orientations and positive energies? Basically, they are just what the CCP says, okay? What the party says, you have to uphold that. You can't question that.